on this episode of the Third Gallon Podcast.
Derek, the picture
Derek's
of
like,
Dante,
please don't do this to me.
The picture of Dante, please.
After defeating some undead Headless Rustlers,
You had a couple leads at the start of this book, but the one you've been following is smuggled supplies through this cattle rustler named Dash. And she said to wait for her fellow cattle rustlers to come back. They did not, in fact, come back. In fact,
They did.
there were Headless Rustlers riding upon clockwork steeds, I believe.
Micah's angels follow the trail of clues to Alkenstar's famous Gunworks.
The Gunworks has a regular supply of like cattle that they buy from wherever, but recently they've been buying from this group of cattle rustlers. You think that's how these Pyronite supplies are getting in there, because they give a regular supply of cattle they have to buy. And so whoever is taking these supplies in at the Gunworks is getting them smuggled in through the cows.
So we blow up the cows.
And meet the locals when they get there.
One second.
There perchance a man in here with white hair, a cowboy hat, and a red jacket?
Yes.
Dante real.
He's actually dancing on stage.
We're going to the Gunworks.
How much gold do I have?
Not enough for his services.
I have 258 gold.
Maybe enough for his
enough.
services.
Now.
So I had a religious experience last weekend as we're recording, and I kind of want to talk about it. Completely new experience for me, has changed my outlook on life.
Mazel tov.
Oh, dear.
And I want to talk about it and spread this idea. So I've mentioned before, I have some work friends. One of them is a guy named Travis. Travis is one of the coolest people I think I know.
God, don't do that.
He lives in a van that he built and drives around the country in it. It's got like solar panels on the roof and everything. It's pretty sick. And he owns land out in a rural part of North Carolina, and he's looking like to build stuff on his land. And he invited me and another person from work, Caitlin, over for a bonfire with some of his friends on this land. And I was very excited about this because I haven't been to a bonfire since I was in like high school. And I was joking and talking that I was going to come in a redneck cosplay. And I did come in a redneck cosplay. I wore some camo, like woodland pattern camo BDUs, old tennis shoes. I got a Top Gun t-shirt from Target and cut off the sleeves. I wore a like mesh cap that has like
from
the front.
Target? I thought it
front
was from
curled.
Plato's Closet. You made me vandalize a new shirt?
It was very cheap. It was still like, it was like $14.
Wait, $14 is not cheap.
For a costume, it is.
For a t-shirt, like t-shirts can be like $20, $30 depending on where you get it. It was a cheap t-shirt. And then
Guess I'm showing my economic status here.
It wasn't a shirt to wear readily and all the time. It was a cosplay.
Yeah. For a cosplay, it's nothing. I wouldn't have worn this t-shirt for any other purpose. And then I like had a flannel like overcoat long sleeve thing for whenever it got cold. So I went in this cosplay. I drove my truck. I have an old little pickup truck. I had a cooler in the back. And I found out like the day before that this is a stay over, camp over kind of bonfire. And so I had like sleeping bag, sleeping mat and everything I needed for that. And he told me to bring my acoustic guitar. And I went, and it was an incredible experience. We started like 8 o'clock or something like that, and we started drinking. And, you know, because you're staying over, you can drink a lot because you don't have to worry about getting back anywhere. And I had beer, margaritas. I had a gin and tonic that was mostly just gin. I played my acoustic guitar. The fire started dying down like at 2 a.m, so we split wood in a floodlight drunkenly, which was fun.
That sounds dangerous.
It's fine. All of us who were splitting wood have done it before and knew not to stand in the arc of death, so we were careful. It was great. It was so much fun. I got trashed, especially because of the margaritas. I'm a sucker for a margarita, and I've been turned on to the 2-ingredient. Is it cucumber jalapeno tequila plus a little margarita mixture? Oh my goodness, it's so good. You guys have had it at our board game night. And so I got trashed. I woke up at like 11 the next day after sleeping in his shed because I'd rather that be there than a tent. And we went and got tacos from this food truck down the road that didn't speak any English. I had to be like 3 on my fingers, asada, and then they turned the total towards me on a calculator, and I handed them my money. It was wonderful. And then the next day he was showing us around the property, and he let me drive the tractor. And basically what I was saying is like, I went to this thing cosplaying as a redneck, and at some point in time, it was not a costume anymore. I just became a redneck. My accent
regained your status.
My accent that I normally hide, especially on the podcast, except for, character acting, like came out in force and was unabashedly on display. And I just left that a redneck and changed. Something about driving that tractor the next day
yes.
with a hangover after eating tacos. Oh my goodness, that was so much fun.
Driving or even just riding on heavy equipment is wonderful.
I got to do the thing where like you move because it had like a bucket on the front, so I got to move the arm up and down and then tilt the bucket. Oh my goodness.
My dad does like grading for a living, and like digging up stumps, putting out dirt, making things level. He has an old 18-wheeler that I've ridden in. I've ridden on the backhoe or track hoe or whatever other equipment that he has to ride off of it, where it gets like a degree angle to get off of it, and it's just something else.
It's so much fun. Heavy equipment in general, my beloved.
Yeah.
All that to say, I was talking actually with a friend of the show, first time mentioning, et cetera, Micah, about this, because last year or a couple years ago, he went on a camping trip with some of his friends. They brought a couple bottles of whiskey and went camping like on a weekend. We're talking about how great it is. I'm like, dude, being outdoors with a fire and alcohol with your friends is like such a spiritual experience. I recommend it to anyone. Obviously, be safe about it, but holy shit, that was so much fun. Anyway, it makes me want to go camping. You guys into camping at all?
I did a lot of it as a kid.
I have been before. I just like camping when it's cold outside rather than when it's warm.
Jacob does not like to get hot. And if it is over, I'm going to say 68 degrees, it's hot to Jacob.
I just don't like sweating. When it's a dry heat, it works a lot better because the sweat does more. But when you get hot here in North Carolina, where the humidity is always too much, it's miserable.
Yeah.
We did a lot of camping when I was a kid. My dad had a pop-up camper where you had to crank it to get the pop-up. We did a lot of that. We'd go fishing, biking, swimming.
And I haven't been camping since...
But I haven't been camping since that.
Boy Scouts and then youth events with church.
No.
Which either way, you have activities to do. And I think my problem as an adult now is I would need to find activities or else I might just sleep the whole time away. Because when I am not doing something, I default to shutting down.
Well,
ADHD much?
That's the nice thing with a lot of people that were at this bonfire, because most of the time we were just talking and hanging out, having drinks and snacking. And then
snacks count as something to do.
And then we split wood, and then before we knew it, it was like 5 a.m.
Board games. If you bring an appropriate
well, that'd be really dark.
You could have a light. It's also something to do during the day.
No, you play cards.
When you
That's
say
what we
camping,
did.
I don't mean just sleeping overnight. I mean camping. Like could be a couple of days, or you're out there during the daytime as well. And I know some people, one guy who liked Settlers of Catan so much, his family custom ordered him like a waterproof version of the game in a fancy wooden box to store it in. So when they went camping, they could play Settlers of Catan and stuff like that.
We should go camping, Jacob, when it's not hot.
Yeah. I like camping in the fall, but I like it more in the winter.
Our camper had air conditioning.
That's it. Take some bikes, go fishing sometimes.
Especially
if you know how to clean the fish.
The best memories of my childhood.
I used to do camping a fair bit growing up, and then some point in time, like in high school, it just stopped, and I don't know why. but I miss it. I like going camping. I don't have any gear for it. I got like a sleeping bag and a sleeping pad just for this past event. So if I was going to do it for real, I'd have to get like a tent and some other stuff. But I already have a cooler and a cast iron.
I have spent a week in a tent with
Oh yeah.
when I did that animal therapy camp thing. You know what happens when you sleep in a tent that long?
You sweat.
No, you wake up to 30 granddaddy long-legged spiders on the mesh side of your tent, and you have to like bap them off to get outside.
Yeah.
So last time I went camping, it was the youth group because Scouts was a long time ago, and we did Capture the Flag at midnight.
Ooh.
And that was very fun. That's probably one of my favorite
That
activities
sounds
we
exceptionally
ever did.
dangerous.
I mean,
Yeah.
we camped on
It was
someone's
youth
land.
group. Who's safe during
who
youth group?
Cleared out the land so that all there was trees, not very much brambles.
Youth group
So
is where you go to really test your faith.
it was like a great
And your
spot
medal.
to actually play. And it was like no moon out that night. So you could actually be sneaky. I remember at the time the pastor was like an ex-special forces.
Are you kidding
So
me?
he actually, from what I understand, he was on the other team. He got on the ground and then
And
they
crawled?
did not see him again until he came back with the flag.
Feels like cheating.
Y'all
know,
played
but it's
youth
still
group in
fun.
hardcore mode.
It was very fun.
See, we wouldn't have done that because in the dark with teenagers of both sexes, that just don't happen.
We had teenagers of both sexes.
Yeah, same with our.
Then your
campouts.
youth group was nowhere near as hardcore about the rules as mine was.
I mean, the only thing we had with our like campouts and Capture the Flag things was like when you went to sleep in the tents, there was the girls' tents and
Yeah.
the boys' tents.
Yeah.
And that was it. But everyone played games and stuff, but it wasn't a really big deal.
What about you?
I'm never going to go camping again. The last time I went camping, I was a scout. I was in Florida.
Oh, that's the first problem.
Yeah.
yeah.
First mistake. We lived
Camping in Florida.
Scorpions.
There were scorpions.
There were scorpions.
Scorpions?
Scorpions.
Oh, that's bad. Keep telling me about your bad experience.
Yes.
Girls woke up with them on them.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
No.
You see,
no.
That's the other thing. You go camping in winter, no ants, most likely no snakes, no bears, no bugs.
Just everything's dead,
Everything's dead or sleeping.
including you.
Winter, hot dog.
Ooh, hot dogs over a campfire.
Yeah, actually. Bring a skillet,
S'mores.
make some bacon and eggs.
I did bring marshmallows and roasting sticks to this bonfire, and it was a good call.
You know what's
yeah.
the best meal when you're camping? Breakfast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pancakes, sausage,
But as adults,
eggs.
with a small group, we could do steaks.
Yeah.
Whenever I was a scout, we buried a Dutch oven and we made peach cobbler.
Oh, that sounds real cool.
I think that I might have been a little bit more rugged of a scout than most Girl Scouts.
That's pretty cool.
Because we were in Florida.
I was a bad scout. I've always been an indoors kid. Like, I've never been afraid to go outside, but I prefer to be inside because, sweating, getting wet, nasty, all that stuff. But I still did a lot of the activities. I just couldn't remember ropes or most information.
Yeah, I did none of that stuff.
I was never a Boy Scout, but I
Nope.
played in the woods growing up.
And then I stopped going because I was getting bullied by the other scouts.
I lived in a fenced-in backyard.
Huh.
I would have gotten in trouble if I went and played in the woods.
There's not much you could do about it when it's the scoutmaster's son.
Oof.
Yeah.
Rough.
But I'm going to be honest, I just wasn't built for scouts.
You built different.
I was built different than scouts.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Like, it happens, but there was a lot of cool things with it. That's how I learned about Strategio. And the old hut we had, they had that board game we play all the time. It was a place in the woods that's also a hunting cabin. They let us use it on the day that we had scouts. And if you walked like 15 minutes into the woods, there was a watering hole with a smooth rock that had water going down it. So it was a natural rock slide. And the scouts from
That's actually
before,
really neat.
yeah, because we were Cub Scouts at that time, but the Boy Scouts had built a dam to make the water get higher. And it was a really, really nice watering hole and stuff like that.
Man, this isn't camping, but growing up, I went to like a summer camp on a mountain in North Carolina, and I either went there or like my parents would be volunteering at it, and I'd be like up there during the week. And
The place with the meat hall?
no,
Okay.
Well, I mean, it has like a big like worship hall plus.
The one we talked about many, many banters ago. The one that looks like has Viking-esque aesthetic?
No, that was a conference. That was different. But when I was up there, I think I've talked about Dane before. I know he listens to the show.
Hi, Dane.
When me and him would be just hanging out up there, not actually in camp, we would play in like the staff cabin up there, Risk, for hours.
Oh, I love Risk.
Hours. We played Lord of the Rings Risk. I think we had to like split it over a couple days at one point in time.
One day I'll win.
I have Lord of the Rings Risk because of that, and I really want to play it at some point in time, but I don't know if I have like an entire day and someone else to play with.
Jacob's giving that weird meme grin.
Yeah, Jacob wants to play Risk really bad. Anyway, I'm going to cut us off before we get into board game talk now.
Yes, please.
Because board game talk is its whole other banter.
I was behaving.
I was enjoying camping banter.
Centuries before the Starstone was raised, the Wizard Kings Nex and Geb warred with one another,
Pitched a tent.
scarring the land
They
between
did their boyfriends.
You could
I
have
don't
used
mean that version.
any other word to describe putting up camp, and you used pitched a tent. From the glowing
We've
ashes
gone over this. I
of the
don't
Mana
think that way.
Wastes. From the glowing ashes of the Mana
now you
Wastes arose Alkenstar, the city of smog, a metropolis of airships,
Those are like just
skyscrapers,
hundreds of
factories, and
years.
clockwork wonders. To the
Centuries
world,
and hundreds are the same
Alkenstar
thing.
is the pinnacle of innovation and determination in the face of insurmountable
And
odds.
campfires.
On its streets, life in Alkenstar is a non-stop race to stay ahead of the competition.
To not burn your s'mores.
And it is here that a desperate group, hungry for revenge, living on the edge of the
And
law,
s'mores.
hunts for the ones who cast them out. They are the Outlaws of Alkenstar.
You think about it. Nex or Gab, they never had s'mores. Not one.
do
Not
you
a
mean?
single s'more. They don't know what a marshmallow is.
They don't?
Probably not. Is marshmallow a medieval thing? They might not even know what chocolate is. Is there chocolate in Pathfinder?
Yes.
Okay.
Marshmallows are from a marshmallow plant.
But
Originally.
that doesn't mean they've been made into marshmallows.
Marshmallows have been around for over 4,000 years, with the earliest known recipe dating back to Egypt around 2000 BCE.
Plant?
They may have had marshmallow.
Marsh. It's like a reed.
It was from a plant.
Just because it has marsh in the name doesn't mean it's from a marsh. Words don't
Yes.
work that way. Names are weird.
Marshmallow root was originally used medicinally. You
Yes.
would chew on it.
But there are no marshmallows in Pathfinder. The only marshmallow I found is Marshmallow's Guide to Pathfinder.
I see.
So they never had s'mores. They might not even know what a graham cracker is.
They have bacon and eggs is good enough.
Yeah, they have chocolate.
Wonder if you could have Mana Wastes bacon. Would we give you superpowers?
It'd be
Will it kill you?
It would glow.
Anyway, last time we got down and sat together, which is like a month ago in real life.
holy crap.
Yes.
A pound of chocolate is worth 10 gold pieces in
Yeah.
Pathfinder First Edition. 10 gold pieces. I mean, I guess it makes sense because, ancient times it wouldn't be as easy to make it, but that's a lot of money.
That's also a pound of gold, a pound of chocolate.
I could buy a pound of chocolate right now for
It would be expensive.
$10.
Yeah.
Yeah, a meal in Pathfinder is like a copper or two.
It's also milk chocolate that you'd be buying.
I'm just saying, that is expensive, but probably understandably so. It'd be hard to make it. And you are doing a recap or something less important than talking about chocolate. What's going on?
Anyway, last we left you guys, you traveled outside the city to a place called the Dead Spot. You were trying to track down Loveless, her trail, and these different clues that have led you here. You had a couple leads at the start of this book, but the one you've been following is smuggled supplies through this cattle rustler named Dash that you found. Dash got spooked whenever her associate, Rangel Feruza, was arrested and had trumped up murder charges thrown at him. And so she was out here in this dead spot hiding. Rangel told you where she would be. You found her, and she said to wait for her fellow cattle rustlers to come back. They did not, in fact, come back. In fact,
They did.
there were Headless Rustlers riding upon clockwork steeds, I believe. And you fought them, and it was really freaking cool. And they threw their skulls, and they blew up, and it was a good time. Also, you rode out here on the airship. Met your old airship buddies to get a trip out here on their way to the Gunworks. Now you have defeated these Headless Rustlers, and that's where we're going to pick up today. Also,
Loot.
yes, we'll get to that in a second. Also, It is a episode divisible by 4, so hero point time.
Hot dog.
Yay.
I love hero point time.
Best time in the history of mankind
It's what
I'm injured.
truly sets us apart from NPCs.
and other shows.
I mean, it's a fair point.
They wish they were us.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Okay.
you remember that then, don't you?
I do. All right, so let's talk about loot.
I love talking about loot.
Yep.
That's
It's
like
like a
Jacob's
guitar.
favorite thing.
Now.
Bow, now. So each of them are going to have some stuff, and then there's some saddlebags you can go through.
Yes, please.
I love saddlebags.
So these are variant Doulahan's.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they have, and the book even says they have the Doulahan's regular loot, which makes no sense. So on them, you'll find a set of full plate.
3 sets of full plate?
Yeah. Each of those are worth 30 gold.
300 silver.
Ka-ching!
And each of them also have +1 longsword worth 35 gold pieces.
Hold on. +1 long sword.
Sword.
35 gold pieces?
Yar.
Go on.
And they also each have a +1 arquebus, also worth 35 gold.
Oh, now that might be Arquebus.
Arquebus. It's a 2-handed firearm.
Anything else?
So that's everything on the creatures. And you look through the saddlebags, you find a talisman.
1.
And you're going to have to figure out what that is. And then you're also going to find a couple bombs.
Ooh,
2 bombs.
2 bomb. 2-handed.
I bet you can figure out what those are.
Oh, I'm sure I can. Is that it?
And then there is a journal.
Ooh, I would like to do a roll on those items.
Crafting.
Yes. All right, Chebster, what's your crafting? I'm going to turn off my brick barbudum. There we go. That might affect my check. I cannot remember. 19 plus 20. 39.
Yes, it's fine.
What a time to roll a 19.
I know, right?
The talisman is something called a Grim Trophy. It's worth 55 gold.
Grim Trophy. You said 55?
You affix it to your armor. Trigger. You attempt an intimidation check to coerce or demoralize, but you haven't rolled yet. Requirements: you're an expert in intimidation. This talisman comes in many forms, most offered as a severed piece of a humanoid creature displayed in some gruesome manner. When you activate the trophy, select 2 targets and compare your intimidation check to both their DCs. So it's kind of, you can do 2 for 1 deal, whatever.
Does anyone here have expert in
Nope.
intimidation?
It's not
Think so.
that great.
Doesn't sound like it.
I'm just trained.
And then the 2 bombs are both skull bombs. Each are worth 80 gold pieces.
What do they do?
This device is a human-sized skull crafted entirely from metal plating and clockwork gears, which slots easily into a humanoid skeleton or a human skeleton in the spot where an ordinary skull would be located.
Oh, it's just the things they threw at us.
May I look this up?
Yes.
That's pretty
While
metal.
performing a create undead ritual, which is really funny because it's a spell in here, but in my foundry it has like the sparkle emoji next to it, so it's like create undead. You can attach this skull bomb to the target creature in place of its own head. In order to do so, the target creature must be medium and have the humanoid trait. The target creature can only have 1 skull bomb attached in this fashion. The creature gains the following ability: throw skull, which is 2 actions. It basically does what they did.
And
Little
does that
explodey
mean
burst.
they have to be attached to be used? Could Chester not use this?
Can't just use them as a throwable bomb that you hold.
I'd allow it. It's not like you can make more of these. There's only 2 of them.
Well, I'll say it like this. Part of the negative to using it is the throwing creature permanently becomes blinded and headless because, they remove their skull. Chester would not have that negative if he could just pick it up and throw it. It is both magical and clockwork and necromancy.
Yeah, honestly, the main thing is it only does 76 fire in a 15-foot burst, which is nothing to sneeze at,
Yeah.
but it's also worth 80 each.
Yeah, and its DC is 24, which
Yep.
is easy peasy.
Yeah.
We'll sell those. It's real neat. I find it odd that they have them in their saddlebags, when they're That like the owner would want those to make more.
Yar. And then you find a journal. The journal has a big print on the front that says Jesse.
Uh-oh.
And Dash is like, no, Jesse was one of my compatriots. Oh, so they got him. I knew I didn't trust that Parsis fella.
And Parsis was the middleman between them and Ebrium.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One of Lovelace's contacts you've known about.
Is Ebrium the next? And that would mean Parsis is the Geb. That's right. We've heard that name before. It's just Ebrium's come up more often.
Yeah, I wonder which one's the Geb. Looks at the Headless Rustlers.
It's Jesse.
But in the journal, if you give it a quick look over, you basically find out that she met with Parsis and continued on to the Gunworks with the cattle and delivered them there. And that's how the pyronite supplies were smuggled into the Gunworks.
Oh.
But we have reason to believe that she's a goner.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like Dash's compatriots went off with Parsis to deliver the supplies to the Gunworks and
Came back as dead.
Well,
that sucks. Is that all the info in Jesse's journal?
Basically.
They delivered them to where again?
The Gunworks.
Oh, to the Gunworks itself.
Yeah.
Oh.
You would also glean from looking at the journal that actually make me a... Do you have a check that you can do for... I know you have like glean information.
Uh-huh.
What is the check associated with that?
Sorry, I hit the wrong button.
Glean contents.
I believe that is society. I will let you know right now. Roll society to decipher. You can attempt society checks to decipher writing on a message that is only partially glimpsed upside down or reversed from your perspective. So I think I would roll society on this regardless.
I'm going to bend the rules for this just to let you, unless you want to spend time reading through the journal.
I could flip through it and use this.
Go ahead.
Total of 25.
Oh, perfect. That's actually exactly the DC.
I made that on a 6.
So you get the feeling, just looking over the other parts of this journal, that like the Gunworks has a regular supply of like cattle herds that they buy from wherever. But recently, in the past like year or so, they've been buying from this group of cattle rustlers. They don't know exactly why they don't just buy them legit, but obviously...
So the Gunwork had been buying legit cows.
Well, you don't know that for sure. It's just they buy cattle and they've been buying it from rustlers recently.
The Gunworks has.
Yeah. And so you think that's how these pyronite supplies are getting in there, because they give a regular supply of cattle they have to buy. And so they're basically, whoever is taking these supplies in at the Gunworks is getting them smuggled in through the cows.
So we blow up the cows.
My question is, how are they getting this pyronite supplies before they knew how to make pyronite?
That's a good question.
I don't like the way you answered that. That makes it sound like it's not a loophole and it's like there's an actual reason for it.
Well, I mean, they're not all their supplies being funneled in here. You know that Lovelace at some point is like got people responsible for getting this to the Gunworks.
Yeah.
You as characters know that the Gunworks is like a high security place where things are manufactured.
Yeah.
It's also a defense place, but it has a factory in it.
So somebody in the Gunworks is working for Lovelace.
And it's like three things. It's a fort.
Yeah.
It's a manufacturing place, and it also has a lot of research going on in there.
Huh. So it sounds like, and this is like the last lead that we have to work with, right?
Basically.
Because we did the
art gala.
We did the art gala.
And only learnt the theory of an idea, which is slowly becoming more of a fact.
You had Tumend, you had Dash, and you had Wrangle.
Yeah,
Wrangle
and Wrangle
Dash.
led us to Dash.
Yeah.
Dash seems to be leading us to the Gunworks.
Yep.
Huh.
Not a lot to go off right now.
Do we know where in the Gunworks they were delivering this stuff? Or is it just keep it vague and say to the Gunworks?
Well, I mean, from reading Jesse's journal, like, they were buying cattle from rustlers before all this anyway.
Yeah.
And so that's why these people probably, you assume, were picked, because they're already buying cattle that have been stolen, so it's easy to smuggle stuff under them.
Uh-huh.
So you can go to the Gunworks, and then if you want to poke around the stables there where the cattle are kept.
And follow the trail from there. So we know where they were delivering the cattle to.
And you could also ask, because the thing about the Gunworks is because it's a fort, it's a shield marshal's stronghold. So you could ask if Lovelace has been there.
Yeah. It also might mean it's a dangerous place for us. But at this point, we don't have anything else to work with.
I don't know. Visiting the Gunworks sounds kind of cool, though.
I mean, it does sound very cool. So Chester will reveal what he read in the journal, and he'll look over to Dash. And you got anything else to add to this? Now that we got some free time to talk?
You're not trying to take me in, are you?
No, I don't care. We ain't the law.
Oh, good. I'm going back to Alkenstar. I don't want to deal with this anymore.
I'd suggest not.
Okay.
Lay low.
You're wanted.
Do you know anywhere I could go hide?
Would you describe yourself as though I don't know, a nice person? I don't care about breaking the law, but do you like hurt people or anything like that?
Kinda.
Do
I
you
mean,
work-
I like to not deal with too many people. That's why I work with cattle instead of
Do you
in the
work
city.
well with others when you have to?
Yeah, well, I mean, we had a gang of us doing this for a while.
So, I got a place you might be able to lie low at for a while.
Oh, really?
My mama's got a farm over at wherever the farm is. And she likes to go like out into the mana waste, and she'll take a group of people with her. She'll hire you on probably.
Wow, that sounds like such a crazy... Yeah, she'll go to the farm.
I didn't even have to try. You gave me that look.
You
set
did.
yourself up for this.
I did.
I'm sad that I didn't think of it myself.
I mean, she's a
but-
cattle rustler. She's perfect for the farm.
Unfortunately, she's the best fit for the goddamn farm.
Yup. Oh, and hey, just so you know, if you happen to hurt anybody on the farm, they'll kill you.
Oh, that is good to know. I mean, I wasn't planning on it, but...
Just let you know, in case you lied to us, and for your own benefit, and don't go being bad around these, or don't be a scoundrel to them, okay? You treat them nice, they'll treat you nice.
She smiles and gives you a thumbs up.
Chester does the same.
You stand there for like 30 seconds.
That's right.
And then she leaves.
There we go. Loading scene over.
Sakir, what do you think about these clockwork horses and undead with the... Are they clockwork horses? I forgot.
And Chester will, in fact, hand one of the skulls over to Sakir and be like, hey, look at this. While he hands it to you, he'll accident because it's clockwork. Bry.
It also has magical stuff that, like, it can be put on a undead. It's a weird combination of necromancy and clockwork that I don't think you guys have run into. I don't know. I don't think the horses were clockwork.
No.
Unclear.
The only thing clockwork about them was their head.
The head.
Skeleton.
Yeah. Okay.
You can call them a head case. Huh.
Very interesting. This is an abomination.
Yeah. Most undead are.
All of them.
All of them.
Sweating.
I'm alive, so. Daddy.
I just imagine Chester having like the sweat. That's obviously is just like tubes from that. What is that Key and Peele scene?
Oh,
Yeah, abomination. Sweat.
oh yeah, look at that picture. That's such a cool picture.
What picture?
The picture on the map of the baddies.
Oh, do you want me to show the artwork of these guys again?
Yeah.
Yeah, check these guys out.
According to the artwork, they're skeleton horses, which is,
With
gnarly.
clockwork skulls.
The art would never
Like the
lie to me.
dudes.
Look at that guy.
Oh yeah, they got purple tails.
Fucking love that. Okay, so where you guys headed?
I guess the Gunworks.
The Gunworks.
I always wanted to see a cannon based off of the Final Fantasy VII cannon.
The
Big-
what?
Big ol' honky cannon. In Final Fantasy VII, there's a town that is basically a fort with a giant cannon on it. At one point, Final Fantasy VII, you have a slap fight on top of the cannon.
Really?
Yeah, between a secretary and I believe it's Tifa somehow get on the cannon, and it's actually a slap fight, which is weird. But you know what? Okay, it's Final Fantasy.
Tifa. I know that one.
Yeah.
Keel.
Yeah, you said kill.
Uh-huh.
And I thought it was a bit harsh.
You
but
said a bit harsh, exactly.
Slap fight, you say?
yes.
Nice.
Oh, so we're going to have a slap fight on top of this cannon
I
now.
don't know what you're talking
Hot
about.
dog! Whap, whap, whap. No closed fists, no guns, no weapons. Open hand only.
My
That
hands
way,
are metal.
if it's slapped with an open hand, people retain their dignity. Master of Disguise taught me that.
Wow. We should blow up the Gunworks.
A good plan B, but we'll like Derek mentioned, because I stupid, we can go to the stables and go from there. Did our ship stop and drop us off and keep going, or is our ship still
We're gonna
there?
have to walk
Yes.
back.
Oh, I wonder, are the undead horses?
Let's go hiking, guys.
Are the undead horses still there?
Where?
Did we kill the riders first, or did we just completely
I think
decimate
they
them?
just fall apart whenever the rider dies.
Cheap, but okay.
I would have loved to have ridden the skeleton horse through the desert.
Hey Dash, how well trained are your cows?
What?
Like, can we each take a cow and ride it up to the Gunworks?
No, I'll take them to your farm.
Okay, yeah, I like that. That's good. That's smart. You smart.
Make a survival check. See if you can find your way there. Group survival check.
Say hi to my
I
mama
have plus
for me.
0.
Oh, I also have a +0, but I get to add my level to my checks, even if I'm not trained in it.
I got a 5.
Mine's a +1, but I have.
Yeah, that's a 5 for me.
What level are we? 9? Mm-hmm. 14.
Oh my goodness, did you also roll a 5?
I rolled a 4.
You all wander around aimlessly for
We
a
got
couple
lost.
hours.
Wandering around at the speed of slow.
Make another survival check.
15.
I got a 17.
Nope, 14.
14?
12.
12?
I rolled
What
a
was the
natural
highest?
17.
What was the highest again, Eleanor? It was 17?
17.
And what was Chester's?
Wait, is this one of those things we
14.
can't possibly succeed at?
Oh, you can succeed. Technically, you don't have to roll. I'm just chitting with you. Eleanor, by some stroke of luck, you see a bunch of hoof prints where cattle have been led and find your way to where the Gunworks is. In the distance as you're coming up, you see it like on a mound in front of a lake. You know that this is where the river that runs through Alkenstar kind of dumps into, I think. Either that or that's where it comes from. It doesn't matter.
That didn't mean the same thing.
There's a river nearby.
It is connected. But on the shore of this lake, on a big hill, like a mound, you see this like almost medieval style castle fortress with a humongous gun at the top of one of its towers. Here's a shot of it shooting at a bunch of mutant ogres. Check that out.
Okay, that's not as big as I thought it was, but that's still pretty neat.
That's a pretty big gun.
It's decently sized.
I mean, it's also really, really far up, dude. That's like a building size.
I expected bigger, but okay.
But you see that in the distance. It is not actively shooting ogre giant people. You don't see an entrance on this side of it. You think you'd have to go around. What do?
It's also more of a mortar when I look at it. I expected like cannon.
I mean, it is a cannon. It's just angled up because it's shooting far away.
The question is the Gunworks the sort of thing we could actually just like waltz up to, or are we going to have to stealth or...
Derek made it sound like we could just go up to it. Because like I imagine businesses have to go there and stuff.
Yeah.
But they could also contact beforehand.
Yeah, it's secure, but like it's secure against mana waste threats, not most Alkenstari people.
Okay, there's trade there.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, with your society that was so stupid high, I'm just going to roll that over. You know that they often hire adventurers to bring rare reagents.
Oh, then yeah, we should be fine. Just gotta avoid shield marshals. Mm-hmm. I guess we'll walk around to the entrance and go.
Let's do it.
All right, so you swing on around to the front of it. You see, as you come around, there's some docks, and there's like a road that leads into the main entrance. As you come around, there's like the main castle walls, and they're all fortified and everything. You can see there's like rubble from looks like a long time ago some other tower collapsed. And there's a number of buildings, and then, there's a main road that leads into the front gates. And that looks like where the cattle have gone in as well.
I suppose we'll go in and ask about the nearest stable.
All right, so
or if there's one stable or multiple.
You also see a number of boats docked and unloading like supplies and also taking on stuff. When you get here, though, it is like getting dark, so there's not it's not super busy. There is some boats still here. You don't see the second kiss. You think that they're already in and out.
Yeah, they were just dropping stuff off.
But yeah, it is going to be like dark. Like, well, it's summertime, so it's like 8 o'clock where it's like sun is just setting. So in that case, the sun is setting over the lake, and it's really pretty.
But the businesses are closed.
Well, you can go in the main gate still. It's still open. And as you get into the Gunworks itself, it's loud. There's like a factory here. And so even if it's in like a building, you hear and like you see the smoke and the steam coming up from the stacks. Inside, there's a big like open area. I don't know if I can actually share this map nicely, but I have a map I'm looking at for it. There's a number of different towers you see here, but you do see one looks like a stockyard that a bunch of cattle are in. You also see a saloon. And when you come in, In one chunk of it, actually, you know what? Screw this. I'm just going to show this map. It's got numbers, but I don't give a shit. Here we go.
It's not like the numbers mean anything to us right now.
All right, here you go. This is the map of the Gunworks. Note that one square is 50 feet. So as you come in, the stockyard is number 1 on your map there. You can see the different like trails worn in. Number 2 is the saloon. And out in the number 9 area, number 9 large, there's like, it's a big open like courtyard in between a couple of the towers. And there's a bunch of people out there like selling guns and different inventions. There's like a little market that's sprung up. And it's actually still popping off even right now.
I gotta say, this place looks a lot different than I thought it would. I still expected more of a town, but this is just straight up like visiting a fort, like a fort you'd find on North Carolina beach. Bigger, but you know, still the same style.
Yeah, but you see them selling like armor, weapons, different like clockwork contraptions, alchemical supplies. It's just a little market.
Yeah.
We could do a little browsing so we look like we're customers, not investigating.
And then the saloon you see is called the Last Stop Saloon. You notice that some of the doors here, especially to the saloon, are sized for up to large-sized creatures.
What's large coming into here?
Giants, but not white mutant. Big boys. If it's so late, I don't know if we get any information by going to the stables yet. We could try, though. Might just get told they're closed, but...
Why not try?
Why not try, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
Stables?
Sure.
Let's go to the stables.
We walk up.
We do that.
Also, for consistency's sake, there are a lot of shield marshals here, but none of them have recognized you so far. You kind of get the feeling that the shield marshals out here are more about defending Alkenstar than keeping up with all the wanted posters and different criminal gangs back in the city itself.
Yeah.
Because this is like, I think 20 plus miles away from Alkenstar City.
Yeah.
They're kind of isolated.
These are the shield marshals that are more similar to like soldiers than police. So they don't bother with the gang stuff simply because it doesn't affect them.
Yeah, and they have a couple different barracks and like, or garrison basically here that you'd see.
Their job is a little more important.
Oh, also, as you're looking around, you hear a massive set of explosions go off. You like duck, like freak out, and you look back up.
Cover
and
my head.
No one around you is phased. It's coming from one of the towers.
It's the Gunworks.
Yeah.
Chester doesn't flinch because
I
he's
do.
used to his mom's experiments exploding.
So where do you want to go here? You said the stockyard?
Just like home.
Chester stockyard?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Eleanor stockyard?
let's do it.
It's like here?
Sure.
Do stuff.
All right.
Get leads.
You go over to the stockyard and there's a bunch of cattle there.
Oh, I did want to note, when we looked at those skulls, I am going to pursue a lead on Parsis.
All right, cool. There's a bunch of cattle there. There's a couple different loose hands attending them. You know from your journal that the main person who buys the cattle there, the lead tender, I think,
Ender Iser?
the tenderloin, is a guy named Cliff.
Hanger?
Hanging from a cliff. And that's why he's called Cliffhanger.
Cliff is in charge, basically.
PBS jokes.
Yeah, he's the head, like, cattle hand.
Is the head hand. Are there any Brahmin?
I wish.
Two-headed.
I wish.
All it takes.
I mean, we are close to the
I don't want to get
Mandaways.
sued by Bethesda.
Chester will go up to Cliff. He'll look at his name tag and be like, that's the name of a guy in charge.
He's wearing like denim onesie with a Cliff.
And he'll motion for Psycheer to follow him.
Yes, like here's our charisma character.
Talky character.
I'm just stabby.
And then he'll go up and he'll be like, hi there.
Howdy.
We was looking for some information on some cows you bought not too long ago.
I do buy cows.
Oh no.
Keep this town running. Supply cattle. what y'all need to know about our cattle?
I care. He talks too slow for me. I can't handle this.
He blinks.
Really one eye and then the other.
Y'all interested in some cattle? I ain't seen you guys around town. Y'all new here?
What's it matter if we're buying?
I'm just curious about newcomers is all. Jacob looks mad because I'm talking slow.
Speaking of newcomers, when did you get this last shipment?
Oh, this last one, I think we got it in a couple days ago.
I'm only interested in fresh cattle.
Y'all looking to butcher something? Or y'all need a beast of burden?
My father is a tanner.
More like following a
Tanner.
trail. Does the name Jesse ring any bells with you?
He squints his eyes like, don't reckon it does. What's it to you?
Chester will slowly, he'll discreetly reach into his pocket and pull out 3 gold coins and lay them on the cow between us and slide them forward
Slide them across the back of the cow.
and be
It
like,
poops.
how about now? Does that jog your memory?
Well, now you're speaking the language I know. I know a Jesse.
Sped up, thank goodness.
It's like the money says, I'm interested.
I bought these cattle from Jesse for a mighty good price. If you know what I mean.
Does he mean that he killed her for them?
Money?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're rustled.
If you know what I'm, yeah, you gotta, money.
Yeah. They're rustled cattle, not legit.
Yeah.
A little bit illicit, huh? Interesting, that's fun.
Hey, listen. I get a budget to buy cattle every fortnight. Not like the game. Like the 2 weeks, you son of a bitch. I get a budget to buy cattle, and if I can stay under that budget, then
You get to keep a little bit off the top.
I'm just saving the Gunworks some hard-earned taxpayer coin.
I see.
Wink.
So I assume that you're also skilled in moving other things that would be liable to save some coin.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Rustling's the same, be it live or soon to be alive.
You trying to imply that I'm moving something other than cattle here?
I'm trying to imply that I'm very curious.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Chester will slide 3 more gold coins across the cow.
Listen, last time this shipment came in, there was 3 rustlers sold it to me. Jesse, one of them, worked with her a couple times. Usually also Dash. Dash wasn't there, though, this time. And then they had some friend with them, and that was that.
Tell us about the
Broody-looking
friend.
fella.
Perchance dressed in Gebite attire.
I don't know what that looks like. But they had long...
Then how do you know what to aim at?
What?
Because they shoot giants.
Oh, okay.
They had long, white-like hair, mask and a hat. Don't know much about them other than that. I assumed they were new with the crew. Didn't catch their name.
That seems to not be the case. There's been an issue with Jesse, and that man did it. Because of what we believe was also coming in with their rustled shipments.
There's something else coming in with the cattle?
Oh, were they separating the ingredients before they brought the cattle to this guy? Sounds like that might be the case, but if that's the case, how do we find out?
You get the sense that this guy has no idea stuff was being smuggled.
All right, so they separated them beforehand. Did you ever see what direction they went after they sold their perfectly legitimate cows?
I mean, everyone goes to the saloon. Sometimes people shop at the market after hours.
Maybe we could ask around at the saloon. Good old-fashioned adventurer style.
Yeah, good old-fashioned adventuring. Check out the saloon. Feel like I'm a rogue.
You said white hair? White hair, was there any other physical descriptors?
Pale looking, mask and a hat.
And what kind of mask was it?
Like the kind,
Like a bandito? Like a...
no, like over the nose and mouth kind of like a COVID mask, except it also had like filters on it and stuff. So like a 3M COVID mask.
It's like kind of like a gas mask, but
Yeah.
like with the eyes visible.
I've seen
A
some
rebreather.
newer people who aren't used to our interesting flavor of air wear them.
Oh, you mean the smog?
I love it.
Oh, yeah, that's just Alkenstar for you, baby.
Alkenstar, baby.
Love it.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm gonna die. If that's it, Cliff, it sure was a pleasure to talking to you. Especially once you sped up, you slow speaking.
Listen, you got to filter out people somehow. He winks.
I guess, is the saloon also an inn?
It does have rooms, yes.
Okay.
Because we could stay.
Yeah, I suppose we'll have to get some rooms anyway, so I guess we could go ask around the saloon. We go
It's
to the
time for drinks.
saloon.
You open the doors to the saloon. The ragtime music kicks on, and we all start dancing. You see it's full of people getting drinks after work. There is all sorts of people. You see half giants and like a number of large-sized individuals with guns everywhere, all strapped to them. And as you get in, another explosion like rattles the place, and everyone goes, "Hey!" and does a drink.
Ah, I love it.
It's a drinking game.
Every time the Gunworks blows up, take a shot.
Death by alcohol poisoning.
There's a man running the front of the bar cleaning a mug. He's bald, he's balding on top with like the ring and then long hair on the ring. And he has an eye patch. And you see like a musket above his side of the bar.
He's a pirate.
I have some artwork of him. Let me see if I can
Is
find
he
him.
bald but with white hair? With a mask?
No. Here's the art of the guy at the bar.
That's a big gun.
Yep.
Oh, I love it.
Holy
The
crap.
gun.
He also got mutton chops. Mm-hmm. His name's Hatchet. Mm-hmm. Like the book.
What?
There's a book. Gary Paulson.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, go Jacob.
Just off chance, perchance, is there a man in here with white hair and a mask and a hat?
No.
Okay.
Is
1 second.
there perchance a man in here with white hair and a cowboy hat and a red jacket?
Yes.
Dante real.
He's actually dancing on stage. He's doing a lot of pelvic thrusts.
He is. He's doing the crotch grab with holding on to his hat.
It's the famous artist Dante.
How much gold do I have?
Not enough for his services.
I have 258 gold.
Maybe
That's
enough for his
enough.
services.
Okay. Considering the things this man would probably do for rent.
Ah, yes, he has an eye patch.
We should talk to the bartender.
Yeah, Chester will go up to the bartender and sit down, order a drink.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna get me one too.
What are you having?
I'll just have a regular, average.
Regular what?
Just an average.
Yeah, can I get a venti?
No, he'll sit down. I'll take what he's having. He'll point to the half giant next to him. No, let me be reasonable
Sitting next to you.
To the normal human next to him.
No, you already said it's too late. Cat's out of the bag. Sitting next to you is a half giant woman with like a
Mullet?
shaved head except for the middle kind of thing
Mullet.
and a ponytail.
No,
Got
I'm
a couple
sorry.
guns on her. She's like,
Wolf tail.
"It's ma'am. I'm sorry.
Mohawk.
Mohawk.
You might have seen me with my hood."
Oh, my apologies. I didn't mean to assume. It's kind of rude, but Mohawk. There we go. I'll take what they're having, but like in a shot glass, cause I'm weak.
All right. I don't think you could handle what Gold Tie's having full strength.
Nah,
Winks at her.
I'll take a shot. I know my limits.
That'll probably knock you off your rocker too.
Oh, so shots.
But here's the kid's sample.
I'll take it. Thank you. That's
She's
very-
got like a pint, but it's just whiskey, and then you have it in like
Holy
a little shot
shit.
glass.
And Chester he'll down it.
All right, make a 4-2 save.
Oh boy. No, my dice hate me. This is a very bad day for Chester. 18.
Oh, you're fine.
It was a 2 on the die.
Whew.
Not a bad day for Dante.
Dante.
Chester will do it. He'll go, "Huh,
You start
I mean-
coughing.
Cough.
I ain't too man enough to admit you was right. I'll take another.
Actually, before we go, this is actually what she looks like. It's art episode heavy.
Oh, that's so neat. That's a grizzled looking.
She hits Chester on the back and says, like, "You'll get there eventually, buddy.
Yeah, I'll
Here,
work up-
I'll get your next round."
I appreciate that. I'm working up a tolerance. Maybe I'll get to it.
Dude, you're about to be death by snoo snood.
I
Her gun's bigger
I
than
like
you
to
are.
think I know my limits.
Big lady.
Big lady.
Big lady.
As they get you another shot, what are the rest of you doing in this bar besides watching the male stripper?
Dante.
Dante.
I'm just chilling at the bar.
You should question Dante.
Yes, the real villain of this story, Dante.
Like, I'm wondering if I got the fortitude for. I have fortitude? No.
At this point, I'm pretty sure the fortitude is just flavor. Unless you roll a
Oh,
one.
it is.
Okay.
Unless you roll a 1.
I'm not about to question the fucking NPC I made up.
For all you know, Dante's in the book.
Ah, yes.
Derek, the picture
Derek's
of
like,
Dante,
please don't do this to me.
The picture of Dante, please. Dante Spruta.
I got you, fam.
Uh-oh.
Fuck.
Just hastily paste a cowboy hat on a picture.
No, there's already a picture of Dante with a cowboy hat. It's in the game.
I wouldn't know.
It's weird.
Here you go. Here's your image of Dante. I'm not sharing this.
Dante.
Oh, no, they already shared it. There we go. It's just literally Devil May Cry Dante with the hat.
Oh my god, Outlaws of Alkenstar featuring Dante from the series Devil May Cry?
Crossover. Wow.
What are you doing, Psych here?
Watching.
I'm glad you're having fun.
I'll be getting me one of those drinks, the little shot.
It's like, are you new in town? You don't recognize your face? Pours you a shot, slides it over.
Takes the shot, downs it.
Roll.
Roll.
Yep, go ahead.
Are you sitting next to Chester?
23.
You're fine. It's whiskey. You don't even
Kinda
cough.
make a little bit of a face.
You don't even cough. You just shudder a little bit.
Stiff stuff.
You should see what I keep on my top shelf.
Not new to town, just not. Haven't been here in a long time.
Well, it's good to see you swing through again. What you in town for? Looks at both of you guys.
Looking for information.
What kind of information?
I'm tracking somebody for certain reasons or another.
Oh, don't sound shifty at all.
Looking around for. I'm sure they. This is. We're all above board right now. Maybe you've seen them. No, you tend to get a lot of people through here, I imagine. You ever heard of a Jesse or a Dash and their crew? They bring cows here every once in a while.
I'm trying to think.
They'll slide a gold piece over.
Across the cow.
Are you counting these gold
Across
pieces
the cow.
off of your?
I actually am.
I ain't that kind of lad.
Oh,
Slides it
that's
back.
even better. How about this?
I just don't know if I would recognize that name.
How about this? A person that might stand out a little bit. Looking around for an individual. White hair, lower half of a mask, hat.
Oh, yeah, I saw some pale-looking person here a couple days ago. I think
What was
they
he up
left
to?
town.
Left town, you say?
Mm-hmm. I think they was just making a delivery and got something on the way out. Friend of yours?
Friend seems like kind of a strong word. Something I'd like to learn more about. Chester wants to do a sense motive on him, and I assume the lady next to him because she can probably hear what they're talking about.
Can I do this too? Because I've been in the conversation.
Sure.
This is perception, right?
Yeah.
Finally. 32.
32?
27.
This guy seems pretty just like he's shooting straight with you. It doesn't look like he's hiding much of anything.
What about the half giant?
The half giant's drinking.
Okay, cool.
You looking for friends, little guy?
Oh no.
I'm looking for an acquaintance.
Oh, okay. You're new to town, I'm guessing, with that city look you group have.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I do have a city look, but I was raised on the outskirts. I know how to rough it.
Ah, well, that's good. You're going to have to rough it pretty regularly around here. It'll toughen you up, though. Unless
Yeah.
you stay in them towers.
Oh, no, I get it. Another explosion goes off in the
Hey!
distance. Chester will take a shot. Like, oh, yeah. My mama, very similar to the people around here. Explosions all the time.
All right, Chester, you're probably feeling it pretty hard now because you've had 3 shots.
Yes.
I've only had one.
So he said he saw the white-haired fella, but he left town a few days back.
Yeah.
Chester says, do you know if he was hanging around with anybody or worked with anybody here, or is he just kind of kept to himself?
Don't rightly much, no. At this point, several explosions go off, and it's just one round of a shot everyone does, and you're starting to like.
Chester does not take a fourth shot,
You're
if that
just
is
like
what you're assuming.
holding on. like the giant lady, she's doing regular shots whenever that happens and sipping on the bigger drink. And then she's like, man, I tell you what, that tower is going off with these explosions. Like, holy crap.
Do they not normally have explosions?
Well, we have explosions all the time, but it has been popping off recently.
Well, what do you mean by recently?
Oh, it's a couple days ago. It just started having tons of explosions. But you're new to here, right? Well,
I'm new, yeah.
there's the two main towers. One's like metallurgy and one's engineers. I don't know. I've had some stuff to drink. But the people who are in charge of it don't like each other. But past couple days, one of them towers has been going off, exploding and exploding. I don't know what they're doing in there, but it seems dangerous.
So one of the towers is going off,
And I bet the boss making good money.
but they don't know which
yeah,
one.
I'm getting pretty drunk. I mean, it's kind of fun, but boy, them alchemists sure are crazy.
There's our
You know, it's the tower of
Our
what
hook.
she said, metallurgy.
metal
Oh,
turd.
metallurgy.
She's drunk, so metallurgy.
Yeah. You know, I used to know a guy who studied metallurgy. He blew up.
Yeah, that's a consequence of the job. It's a shame. To this guy,
To that
he'll
guy.
raise an empty shot glass and clink it and he'll just act like he hits the shot.
Make the face and everything.
Yeah.
I like
You
it.
an alchemist? You have soft hands.
Oh, yeah, he'll show off some of his vows. I fiddle around with some chemicals or 2, 3,
Wow,
couple different.
That's really cool.
Oh, thank you.
You an alchemist?
Eleanor just kind of pats her rapier. I prefer metal.
Oh, so you're a blacksmith. I got it.
I imagine it's not weird for someone to be walking around with weapons since there's so many guns everywhere.
Yeah. But at least from here, that so far, you can pick up that stuff's been going off. There's problems at both of the two main inventor hubs, the Tower of Metallurgy and the Tower of Engineering.
Chester, but how would one get inside one of these towers? Are they open spaces?
You'll probably have to talk to Della runs metallurgy and Eric. He runs the Tower of Engineering. You can just talk to him and go up to him, I think. But they'll see you at the bottom, so you can just figure out what's going on. Yeah, but they've been at each other's throats more than recently. I think they're having trouble with their different experiments or whatever.
All right. So does Erdic, come in here very often?
They might. I mean, you might catch one of them over there, but I haven't seen them a little bit.
Here's my thought. If we can meet up with Erdic, then we can tell him that Della's tower has been getting illegal supplies and making items with nefarious intent, and maybe he can help us get inside the other tower.
You could also just see if you think Pyronite stuff is happening at the Tower of
Yeah.
Metallurgy, you could just go talk to them and see what they've been doing. Because Lovelace or someone from Lovelace would have been there.
I mean, you're right, but I get the feeling that this was supposed to be on the down low, which is why they were sneaking in the supplies.
But how do you hide the evidence of Pyronite?
You haven't asked about Lovelace, whether she's been here or not. This is a Shield Marshal stronghold.
That's fair. Let's see. How do we...
I don't know if I can say her name without spitting.
Chester will sit there and be like, cool. And he'll let a few minutes pass, like the conversation's done. And then he'll start off on a new one as hey, friend of mine has a friend out this way, or says that she likes to come out this way. You ever heard of a shield marshal by the name of Lovelace?
Who are you asking?
The bartender. And he'll say it loud enough for the half-giant to hear, because she's been helpful.
Sure. Make a diplomacy check. What you're doing is gathering information.
You don't have a
I
feat that helps you with that, do you?
actually might have a feat that lets me use society instead.
Ooh.
I just, unfortunately, so many feats.
Use Control F and skim through the stuff.
This is criminal connections, which I do not believe would work here.
Yeah, it wouldn't work here because this isn't a criminal gang hub or anything like that.
Oh, wait. Use society to gather information or recall knowledge. It says infrequented settlements, but this is close enough to Alkenstar. Maybe it could work.
What is this called?
Streetwise. You know about the life on the streets and the feel of the pulse on your local settlement. You can use your society modifier instead of diplomacy to modifier to gather information.
At a settlement.
You frequent regularly. I'm wondering if this.
Oh, no, that's separate. You can use it to gather information. Then separate that period. In any settlement you frequent regularly, you can use recall knowledge with society to know the same sort of information you would discover with diplomacy to gather information. Yeah, I don't see why you couldn't do it, because that's a separate clause.
Cool. Then I will use society instead, which is significantly larger.
It does
Use
say
your
your
hero
local
point if you're
settlement,
worried.
but this is close enough and connected enough to Alkenstar that I'll let it go.
Oh, I need to check and see if I have bottle caps.
Do you not like that roll?
Use your hero point.
You just got a hero point.
I know, I'm checking my bottle caps because I don't want to die in the next 4 episodes. All right, I'm going to use a hero point on this. I rolled a 3 on the die. Oh, great.
What'd you roll this time?
That will be a total of 26.
What'd you roll that time?
7.
Well, you made it.
Ah! Dog.
It was DC 26, exactly.
Ooh.
So you were asking about Loveless, and Hatchet, the bartender, speaks up, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I think I know this Loveless character. Shield Marshal lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen her through here a couple times recently. They both stayed at the saloon not too long ago.
Both her and the white-haired guy?
No, not a white-haired gentleman. Dark-skinned, wizardly-looking fellow. I think his name started with the E something.
Ebrium.
Yeah, you must know them.
I've heard it in relation.
Well, they were in here. They both had I think they both had dinner with the commander. I don't know if you know him, Loy Ayton, commander of the Shield Marshal garrison here.
Lloyd?
Loyayton, Loy Ayton. Last night they were here, they had some sort of meal with them. I think I also saw them frequenting the 2 different towers. Looked like they were ordering something.
Interesting.
Very.
So they were here yesterday.
Not yesterday.
A few days.
Sometime this past week.
All right. Interesting. Well, thank you. You sure are a nice feller.
And we should get
You're
rooms.
welcome. Y'all need rooms here?
We'll need some rooms.
How many rooms y'all gonna need?
Share a room.
Yeah, we could save some cash, share a room. How much is
here? Let me tell you that real quick.
They're too busy watching the stripper.
The question is, do we think we could catch one of the tower leaders right now, or do we just need to wait till tomorrow? Because at this point, it's probably closer to 9 or 10.
I think it would cost you a gold to stay for everyone.
Then let's just pay it.
I'll take the gold off the party pool.
Yeah.
I'm going to say we probably should go tomorrow. It's getting really late
Yeah.
now, right?
It's late.
We got here at about 8. We questioned Mr. Cowman.
I think about right now it's probably like 10 o'clock.
Yeah. So unless they happen to be in here already.
Yeah, and you wouldn't know who to look for if they were in here anyway.
That's true.
So your next leads are the two towers. It's Lord of the Rings. You know that Loveless visited both of them. And so far you know that the Pyronite supplies have been smuggled into this area, but you don't really know where they went after that.
I'm going to assume they went where the explosions are happening.
It could also just be the normal run-of-the-mill stuff happening with the experiments and the gunworks anyway. This is a gun factory after all.
Yes, with explosions going off more so than usual.
Highly suspicious.
I guess we sleep.
Yeah.
I also would like to request that we heal up, but I don't think we need to roll all those heals.
Yeah, how far down are you guys?
I'm down to 72 out of 125. I got hurt.
63 out of 107. It's about
50
40.
out of 125.
Ooh.
That's not too bad.
But if we're going to go to bed, we can just...
Except for Psychiatric, it's like half.
Yeah, we can just say heal button.
Yeah, because you can just do it until you get all the way up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do I get you to...
So can we rest and prepare?
Yes.
And I guess we sleep, unless
Go
there's
ahead.
anything else that we do.
Go ahead and mark that off. All right, so you get up in the morning, wake up to the sound of cattle being moved.
At what point in time do the explosions stop, or do they?
Oh,
Or
that's
did
a
we
good
just hear
question.
that all night?
I
Let's
would
see.
assume
Is it
we hear
business
all
hours?
night.
You definitely hear some explosions during the night. They may wake you up. They may just be comforting.
You know how technicians and engineers are. They don't stop unless someone forces them to.
But it definitely quiets down at night. You get up, you see that they're being moved outside to go graze. And everyone's going to work, and stuff's coming into town, and stuff's being shipped out of town. What do you do?
Let's head for those towers.
You make a fair point. Even if the supplies were brought in on a down low, the actual project itself could be legitimate, even if they're being lied to. So I guess we'll go to the tower where the explosions are coming from.
Yeah.
Do we want to try and pose ourselves as cattle movers
I think
as
that
a way
would
to get close?
I think that would have got us more in with the cow guy. These guys, we might be purchasers, might be our best route for this tower, saying that we're in the
Does this place normally do transaction stuff, or is
is
this
it
like a military base?
Research.
I think it's both, is the way you've described it, because we could say we're looking for explosions to help miners out.
It's three things. It's a fort, military fortress. It's a factory, mostly for firearms, but for a lot of different stuff related to it. And then three, it's got some research element to it. The two towers, metallurgy and engineering, are more about the research part of it, but they also make stuff.
So we could say that we've heard of the explosions and we're interested in explosives for the purpose of helping out people at, a mining settlement nearby.
Or we could hope that she hasn't discussed us specifically this far out and say that you're interested in the research.
Ooh, that's true.
You wouldn't even have to lie.
Chester's whole thing at the academy, one of his classes was into the explosives, and that's what got him, I believe, on Muglin's list.
Yeah.
Could even use your hat, claim to be a different student.
That's true. Derek's already said they probably don't care about the wanted posters out here, so I'm not too worried.
They probably just don't know, because these shield marshals are more about defending Alkenstar, so they probably have no clue who's wanted and what in regular Alkenstar.
If the hat lasted more than an hour, I'd worry more about it, but we could be in there for more than an hour.
True.
We've got 3 hats.
Then we have to sneak away, come back.
Could just change your face, lower your hat.
Punch me a lot. Make my face swell up.
What was that half giant lady's name? I'm sure that she could dutifully rearrange your face with just one hit.
Punch me, please. Wham! Chester's dead.
Excuse me,
Chester's
Mommy?
kinky.
That's death by snoo.
We go to the tower. I like your idea. Your idea is a good one.
You go up to the tower door, you knock and you go inside, and you're in this opening hall area, and you see there's this half-elf lady who has a welding hood on top of her head, as if she raised it, and sitting around her is I don't know the Alkenstar equivalent, so it's 5 different empty cups of Starbucks, and she's
Star bombs?
twitching.
Star bombs!
I love it. Star bombs.
Oh, you're not okay.
With who?
I've been waiting for some help from the shield marshals. Hi, I'm Della. I run this tower of metallurgy. Y'all need something?
Ah, wow, right at the beginning.
Yeah, right to where we want to go.
I'm from Alkenstar, and I was at the academy doing some research into explosive materials to help out around the area. And I heard lately in the past few days that you guys have been experimenting with some yeah, just like that. And I was curious if you could tell us more about that.
Well, we've been having this issue where there's a bunch of explosions of this chemical reactions going out of control. I locked down the room where it's happening. It's the Hall of Crucibles where we were working on something.
So you were in control of those explosions?
No, it died down yesterday for a little bit, so I sent some people in there, but they hadn't come out. I've been trying to get Loy and some shield marshals to see if we can figure out what's going on in there.
I totally want to go explore that.
Oh, we're going to.
I don't mean to butt in on a conversation that my companion was having with you, but you seem to need a few extra hands.
And some more coffee.
I could use both, really. Yeah, it's been out of control. I've locked down the Hall of Crucibles where it's been happening until we can get something going on in there. Yeah, but it's out of control. I don't know what's going on.
Our friend here is an explosives expert.
Really?
Yeah, I know a thing or two about a thing or two.
That's a bit vague.
He's so
okay.
humble.
I'm sorry, I was just trying to be humble. Nobody likes a braggart unless they're very charismatic, and I'm not.
Well,
Not like that Dante.
Not like Dante the stripper.
oh, I love
your
Dante
salute.
the stripper. I would have gone to see him last night if I wouldn't hold up doing with this.
Yes, the
He just
stripper and
kept-
your normal soul.
He just kept doing one move.
Oh, but it's all he needs to do. Every thrust is pure delight.
The muscles.
His glutes are toned like you wouldn't believe.
Turns out
I don't know. He was wearing chaps that had asses.
he's just part clockwork. Goes all day long without
His
stop.
clockwork glutes never stop.
One hand on the head, one hand on the groin. Thrust, thrust, thrust.
How much is clockwork and how much is real?
Anyway.
Doesn't matter so long as there's a vibrate function.
Oh my goodness. This conversation's got me uncomfortable. Let's get back to explosions. Anywho.
If you want to help, any help is greatly appreciated. I haven't slept in a couple days.
What were the people in there working on? Did they make it out?
Some project, we had a couple different chemicals we're trying to synthesize. It was going great. We got our first batch done, and then something went haywire. I swear it's that Erdrick fucking Tower of Engineering getting in our shit. Someone sent someone down here, and now we've got real trouble. I swear to God.
But what do you mean by that? Like,
They're always trying to get one up on us. Those sons of bitches. And I just know they had someone sneak in here and tip the scales on something. And now it's out of control. And they're going to win the upcoming
oh no, a contest.
Oh.
It's Employee of the Month.
Oh no. Well, hold on. Why do you think they sent somebody? Somebody sketchy around here?
I just don't trust them motherfuckers.
Okay. Do you know who asked you to work on this?
It's not important. This is another chemical job for the shield marshals.
Where'd you get the supplies for this chemical job? Do you keep up with stuff like that?
No,
Okay.
just came in.
I mean, listen, if you're looking for some help with those explosions, we'd certainly be willing to do it. You happen to have
If you can get us back on our feet before this year's Thunder Fair, I'd be super thrilled. I have a blast suit and might help you out, but I only got one.
Oh, yeah. A blast suit.
It's an item you can look up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
with that. Let me ask you one thing. Do you have like a consultant fee or something since we'd be putting our lives on the line here?
Psycheer very subtly shifts their weight to slowly step on Chester's toes.
Ow! Psycheer, I think you're stepping on me on accident.
Oops. Doesn't move.
Psycheer, kind of hurts. It's my toes.
Don't be greedy.
I'm not trying to be greedy. I'm done. I'm about to die.
Y'all can deal with this. I'll reward you for sure.
Actually, hold on, I'm learning up on this. Crafted from a heavy steel plating and riveted together with cunning precision, this suit of +1 resilient full plate is specifically designed to protect against sudden explosions. This added layer of security comes at the cost of movement, however. As a reaction trigger, you are affected.
I got it.
You are affected.
So basically, as a reaction,
You're affected by an area effect that requires a reflex save, or you would take splash damage from a scatter weapon.
For other things that you'd be affected by.
basically it gives you a bonus to your saves.
It makes you immobilized. It like locks you down, makes you immobilized, but you gain at the same time a +2 circumstance bonus to your reflex
And
against
also,
area effects.
You get 5 damage resistance to any damage you would have normally
You
taken.
turn into the truck that they have on Storm Chasers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, this sounds horrible.
Who wants it?
Because you can't move. Can you even attack when you're immobilized?
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if any of us can actually wear.
That's another thing?
Yeah.
It's a heavy? Heavy?
I mean,
Heavy
I got high acrobatics, but something tells me that won't matter inside that suit.
I got light armor only.
You can interact with the suit to unlock it, so you spend an action on your turn to go back to normal.
All simple weapons, all martial weapons, all light armor.
Yeah.
I don't even get medium.
Honestly, I don't think it'd be worth it because even if you can figure out the bonus, you're not proficient, so you're not going to get... I think it's just you're not proficient, so you're not going to get your level added onto it.
Which really tanks our AC.
And it's worse than some of you are proficient in unarmored defense, and you'd be literally better off not wearing armor,
Yeah.
Yeah.
unfortunately.
And do we get to keep the splash suit if we use it?
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Yeah, cool. We'll take it.
You just won't wear it.
It's worth 650 gold pieces,
Jacob,
man.
stop being greedy.
That foot is still on your shoe.
Listen, need money, okay? In terms of money,
We have
we
no
need
money.
more money. I'm going to add that to the sheet until they ask for it back.
Jacob, you're terrible.
Jacob, you're so greedy. We need money to survive.
I mean, we've just kind of been walking around. We don't need money.
We need money for better runes. We need money for equipment. Chester needs money for weapon.
Weapon.
Whip on.
All right, I'm going to move you to a map. Let me describe what you guys see in this room. 2 enormous crucibles, each larger than a wagon, stand in the center of this large hall. The westernmost crucible stands upright, while the eastern crucible has tipped over, spilling a vast amount of cooled metal on the floor, which glistens with an unusual sheen. Overhead, the ceiling arches to a height of 30 feet and is painted with images of cannons firing upon collapsing castles. A dozen smaller alcoves circle the outer walls of the room, each containing a small crucible. Scorch marks and blast residue cover the walls and floor in this room. Why don't you guys place yourselves as you come
That
into this room?
giant thing is the crucible.
Yeah, and one of
Yeah.
them spilled.
That 20 by 20 circle.
Why don't you place yourself in the room?
Is that liquid pyronite that's on the floor?
It looks like metal.
Oh, okay.
Why don't you-
I don't want to step in that.
And as you come into the room, you hear as coming out of one end of the crucible, you see a blob of exploding mass that looks like this.
Did they make a pyronite?
A pyronite
Golem?
ooze?
A pyronite ooze golem.
That's what we're going to pick up in our next episode.
Ah.
Congratulations. I have a new puzzle for all of you. Is pyronite.
Living pyronite.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Third Gallon Podcast. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing, rating, and reviewing us. If you want to see more from us, check out our website, thirdgallon.com, or follow us on Twitter. We are at Third Gallon, that's THIRD Gallon. We are also on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook with the same handle, at Third Gallon. We also publish a video version of this podcast on YouTube, which you can find on our channel, The Third Gallon Podcast. If you'd like to support the show, check out our coffee page. You can find us at coffee.com/thirdgallon. That's KO-FI/3rd gallon. Our theme music for this season is Delta Rust, composed by Andy Ellison. Our ambience for this episode was composed by Michael Ghelfi, and you can find more of his work on his YouTube channel, Michael Ghelfi Studios, and you can support his awesome work at patreon.com/Michael Ghelfi. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.